Excuse me. So, number 7. This team just barely missed the playoffs, which they should have been in the playoffs, but, some people just want to decide to, pack it in. But the Miami Heat, I got them at number 7. They will build off of what they did last year. Eric Spoelstra is a really, really good coach. And people, hopefully they realized that last year. No D-Wade, no Chris Bosh, no LeBron James. So when people were talking about, I could coach that team with that team, he finished the second half very strong. They should have been in the playoffs. I think they would have gave Boston a run for their money as well, instead of Chicago. Chicago did too, but with guys like Hassan Whiteside, they're not world beaters. They're not, one player away, but they'll be in the mix. They'll be a good basketball team, and Eric Spoelstra will have them ready to play. And you still got Pat Riley. Pat Riley, could move something around and get another guy in there and start making some noise, on that team. Number 6, I'm going to go with the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah. So, and the main reason I'm going to go with the Charlotte Hornets is really Kemba Walker. Man, this dude is real deal. Kemba Walker is no joke. At 6'1", he's not a really big guy or anything like that. But you know what is big? His jump shot. His jump shot, he'll shoot your eye out, if you're not careful, You got Frank Kaminsky, he's a nice piece. And they picked up Dwight Howard, and everyone knows here in Atlanta how I felt with Dwight Howard. I just really felt that, Dwight had an opportunity to come earlier, to make it work. And I think him not coming earlier, it just, he went to the Lakers and stuff just started changing. So that's in the past. I'm not going to harp on that, but you have a big man in Dwight Howard. If they get him involved, he stays happy, but he has to understand though that he is not the team. He is not that Dwight Howard anymore. But I do agree that you got to get him involved in the offense more. He said he's been working on his 3-point shot. I think he needs to work on his free throws, and his post game, before shooting threes and all that stuff. But if his 3 game is nice or whatever, then great. It's something that was probably he think he needs because big man can shoot now. Big man can shoot in the NBA. And it's not just that their game, but he needs to incorporate a lot, into his game to add to the pieces that they already got, on this team. So they got Nick Batum. They picked up Michael Carter Williams. So he might be a serviceable, backup, point guard. So I got them number 6, we'll see. Now, I got them at number 6, but they could flip-flop with Miami and be 7 and Miami be 6. So I wouldn't be surprised, if that's the case. But number 5, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. So CT, a.k.a., his name is Christopher Tracy. He'd probably be happy, about that, about me, picking the Milwaukee Bucks. So I got them at number 5 in the league. And they really didn't make too many moves, in the offseason. And I don't think they really needed to, maybe, one guy here or there, but they kept Jason Terry. I think the big thing about keeping Jason Terry is not necessarily him, scoring points, but he keeps that locker room together, They got guys on their team, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, this guy, he's going to be the next, superstar. Malcolm Brogdon, he won Rookie of the Year. They're going to build off of that. Dellavedova, he's going to be there. That's the dirty, grimy, defensive guy that they need on their team. Gerald Green is the, athletic type, give you, points here and there. He's a little streaky, or he is streaky, not a little, he is streaky, but, he can give you some. Thon Maker, I like him. And Jabari Parker should be back from injury. So I like the nucleus of the team and their coach, Jason Kidd. He's a former point guard, so if you notice, there's a lot of coaches that has had success in this league that were former point guards. Scott Brooks, look at him, in OKC and now in Washington, former point guard. Scott Skiles, he former point guard. Tyronn Lue, former point guard. Doc Rivers, former point guard. These guys have had success, in this league. So I just think with someone like Jason Kidd, that helps out, because he sees the court a lot different, than anyone else. So he can point out things that maybe no one else has thought about or is thinking about. So I got the Milwaukee Bucks at number 5. So number 4, we'll go with the Toronto Raptors. They will just stand pat and what they're doing. They re-signed Kyle Lowry. They got DeMar DeRozan. They did lose Patterson off their team, but with this team though, I just don't think they got enough pieces to really make that next move. They have Serge Ibaka, on this team, but I think they will play good ball, but when the playoffs come, they'll have the same struggles that they always have. I'm hoping DeMar DeRozan is working on a 3-point shot. It's needed. DeMar is a baller. We all know that he's a baller, but when no one expects you to pull threes, that kind of impacts your game. It kind of hinders your game, if you will, because no one's going to believe that you're going to take that shot out there. So I know Duran can do that, but DeMar can do that, but he has to do it. He has to do it to help that team. Number 3, I'm going to go with who you think? Who would I pick at number 3 in the East? The Washington Wizards. Yeah. So to me, this is another team that stand pat. John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter. You got guys now. Now Kelly Oubre, which was drafted by the Hawks, and they traded him on draft night. He seems like he's a player. He seems like he's going to be a contributor, to this team. Marquise Morris is on this team, and also Marcin Gortat as well. They have a superstar, or a star, maybe not a superstar, but they have a star in John Wall. They have a baller in Bradley Beal. Maybe for them, it's some of those moments that they go through, that they went through with Boston, is losing. What was it? I think each team lost on the road, and no, lost at home. I think each team lost at home, in that series. So they need to be able to get over the hump, some of those mental humps that hinders them from moving on. John Wall went cold in one game in that series. You can't have that. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, you can't have stretches where you go cold and you're not getting it, getting anything from anybody else, But John Wall is a bad boy. I think this offseason he continues to work on his game, and we'll probably see a little bit of a difference. But third place is where I got them. Third place at this point. So now we're down to the top 2. No surprise there. And I say it ends just like it ended before. The Cleveland Cavaliers is going to be second. I know they re-upped and they got all these other guys like D Rose. They made a trade. They got Jay Crowder. I know all of this, but to me, they still have some questions. And their questions is really about their vets. Which one are you going to get? Are you going to get that D-Wade? Not Flash. You're not going to get that. D-Wade is 34, 35 or whatever. You're not going to get that. So we know that. But you don't want to get that guy is that went up for that dunk and he hit the front of the rim, and then you find out like, dang, D-Wade is not on the decline. He is in the decline. Derrick Rose, is his injury woes gone? He had a very good year, 18 points. He almost averaged 19 points, last year. What is going to happen when Isaiah Thomas get back? How's his hip going to be? So to me, those are just the questions. They could very well be number one, on it. But I just think the questions right now, because they haven't been answered yet, will be what keeps them from the top spot. But we already seen they don't necessarily need the top spot, to do what they need to do. But in this season, it will help out tremendously because I got the Boston Celtics at number one. They got Kyrie Irving again. That's kind of like an even trade, him and Isaiah. But they picked up Gordon Hayward. Al Horford is, will be in his second year in that offense or in that on that team. Tatum out of Duke, I think he's going to be a nice addition. And Jaylen Brown, he got a lot of PT, a lot of playing time in the playoffs. And that says a lot for a coach to play a rookie, like he did, like Brad Stevens did for Jaylen Brown. I think what they were trying to do, they were trying to solidify their bench, maybe get a little bit bigger, a little bit tougher, on it. So that's why they got one of the Morris twins on that team, because they traded away Avery Bradley to Detroit. So I think they're in a prime spot to challenge Boston, So in the chat room, Big L is giving me the big thumbs down. He said, negative Jelani L. LeBron will lose to Golden State again. Well, we ain't even got to that yet, Big L. We ain't got to the finals. We just talking about the Eastern Conference, on it. And I don't think it'll be as easy. I said last week, Golden State run through the West is not going to be easy. It's not going to be, they're not going to steamroll people like they did last year, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be a Detroit City tough man competition, man. They are going to beat the crap out of each other in the West, and we shall see what happens. Cleveland, if they get out of the East, and they get past Boston, I mean, they got some guys. Again, it's just the question marks. If the question marks get answered, they got a chance, to a better chance than they had last year. How about that? Let's just say that, Angry Black Man said Boston lost too much on defense, and Al Horford is still in without a ski mask. Oh my gosh! Said basically, Angry Black Man is saying that Al is not worth his contract. Well, Angry Black Man, it's year 2. He can do something about it. To change your mind, and we'll see, what happens, from that. But NBA season is going to be very, very interesting. So to recap, let me just go ahead and give you number 8. I got Philadelphia. Number 7, the Miami Heat. Number 6, Charlotte. 5 would be the Milwaukee Bucks. 4, the Raptors. 3, the nation's capital, Washington Wizards. Number 2, Cleveland. And number 1, the Boston Celtics. And Big L, last thing about this, Big L said you can't spell Eastern Conference Finals without LBJ coming out. Wow. Matt Farrell said, what about the Pistons? Matt, here's the thing with the Pistons. And Matt, if you don't know, I'm from Flint, Michigan, man. So I love the Pistons, man. Bad boys, man. Back-to-back champions. And then 2004 with Chauncey and Mr. Phillips. But I just think with Stan Van Gundy, I love the Avery Bradley addition. I hated that we lost one of the Morris twins, to get Avery Bradley. But I still think we're a few pieces away. Drummond still has a problem with free throws, and I don't know if everyone is bought into Stan Van Gundy, and they are starting to tune him out. So those are my concerns. We'll see. And Angry Black Man said, John, I have saved your picks to revisit in April. Well, that's right. We will revisit them, Angry Black Man, and see whether I was right or wrong or what, how this all played out. So yeah, that'll be